This person must be dreaming too.
It would appear that way, yes.
Oh, more dreams! Let's go!
Can't say I'm very excited to go back there. That dream world sorta creeps me out.
Perhaps you should spend less time complaining and more time getting on with the mission.
Yeah.
More reading? More reading! I breathe air scented with death and resist the urge to laugh, for I know it will sound like the words of a madman. How long have I been in this fresh hell? My box, my prison is tucked beneath a stairway in the long unused catacombs of some infinite castle. Outside I hear the sounds of a funeral dirge that plays without end. Light has no place here. Wind is a forgotten friend. I pray for death to come, but he forsakes me. Time passes. An eternity slips by in a single tick of the clock. Someone knocks on my prison. Anyone there? I hear an unfamiliar voice say. My savior. I claw at the door of my jail, embedding thick splinters under my ragged nails. I scream for help. I laugh. I sob. Surely this is a product of my addled mind. Surely it cannot be true. Help me, I cry. For the love of all the gods, help me. Impossibly, I hear the sound of a lock being torn out and falling to the floor. As the door slowly creaks open, I have just enough time to see a silver-haired boy in a floating book before the light pours inside. My eyes, accustomed to blackness, explode with pain, and I'm forced to turn away. Who are you? I ask, shaking hands covering my face. How have you come to this place? I am Grimoire Weiss. I can't talk. This is Trav. Long have we been searching for you. Now come, stand. We shall awaken from this nightmare together. The one known as Trav extends his hands and pulls me from the cell. Though my eyes are slow to adjust to freedom, my ears are as keen as ever, and they recognize the staccato sounds of heavy rain. I never thought to hear that again, I whisper. Would that this were not such a terrible storm, said Grimoire Weiss. Look at your feet. I force my eyes open and see water pooling around my ankles and lapping at my shins. There's so much of it. Yes, and more comes each moment we delay. If we do not make good our escape, we shall all drown in this castle. We know you are weak, but you are our only hope to survive this place. Time, that long-forgotten friend, made itself known again. I nodded my head and swore to save my rescuers, no matter the cost. The castle catacombs are a maze, twisting upon themselves like the endless entrails of a giant. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed north. I can't hit buttons. Oh, I had to pick. At the end of the corridor, I find a row of 20 gorgeous canopied beds resting atop a carpet of velvet. All are covered in a thick layer of dust and cobwebs. Searching for the door to the next room, I come upon a shapeless mass of gray matter. It's been shoved against the side of the wall, and despite my fever, I think I see the outlines of a door just beyond. When I reach out a finger and touch a piece of the mass, it turns to dust and drifts away on the wind. Realization slowly dawns, and I fall to my knees and weep. Corpses. I face a mountain of charred and crumbling corpses. I look from it to the beds and back again until the horror dawns full upon me. Someone has piled these bodies into a tower and set them ablaze. Whether they were alive or dead, I do not know, and sanity will not permit me to consider the proposition further. I make a sound, whether scream or laughter, I cannot be certain. Then my mind grants me merciful blackness, and I find myself opening the door and leaving that most terrible of rooms. I squint down the dim corridors. Let's go east. And then north. And then north again. At the end of the path, The waters rise to my waist, exhausting me both physically and spiritually. I pray that this is the way out. Eventually, I can stand the sight of the waters no longer, and so turn my eyes upward. Imagine my surprise when I see a series of paintings hanging on the faded plaster wall. Each depicts a person in the prime of life, clad in clothing of the highest quality. The styles, however, are strange to me, leading me to believe that these people had lived long, long ago. One subject wears an outfit that particularly catches my eye. It's constructed of a thin, breezy cloth and decorated with a motif of flowers and birds, while encircling the figure's waist is a leather belt of the most perfect construction. It is a stunning costume, even by modern standards. As I gaze at the portrait, I'm struck by a desire to touch it with my own hands. Yet as I extend a single finger to the painting, I'm gripped by a most unpleasant feeling. Staring closely at the image, I see it bend and warp into the shape of another finger. Something behind the picture is pointing at me. Is it another prisoner? A fellow inmate trapped for eternity in this place? I cannot let it pass, and so I seize the portrait with both hands and throw it into the water. The wall is hollow behind the painting, and I could just make out a body. Whether or not this is a prisoner, there would be no rescue. The poor soul is long dead. Scraps of clothing lie on the floor around the bones. Only a small amount of the fabric has survived, but it features the same delicate designs that were depicted in the portrait. I've been admiring a row of corpses, blocked from view by portraits of each victim at their pinnacle. Enough! Shielding my eyes, I paddle forward through the water. The water has risen to my chin and now laps greedily at my mouth and nose. "You dumb bastard!" shouts Trav. He surely desires to say more, but the rest of his insult is cut short by the rising water. Grimoire Weiss, wet and tattered, floats on the water's surface. It's already too late for him. This wasn't how it was supposed to end. Rippy dippy. Wait, how was I supposed to know the directions? Chat, what did I miss? How was I supposed to know?
Now I can finally return to a normal life.
This is one of the most bizarre diseases I have ever encountered.
I know.
There must be a clue somewhere else, right? Because I don't recall much in that. Anything in that would have told me which directions. Oh, let's try this guy after I take a big old glug of water.
I figured a book like you would be into all this word stuff, Weiss.
Even I have my exceptions. Now let's be off.
A colony of massive sculptures was visible in the distance, their tall forms scraping against the sky. Weiss and Trav had never seen such a sight, and their eyes widened as they tried to take it in.
Those buildings must be huge if we can see them from this far away. What do you think, Weiss?
As Weiss considered his answer, the sun beat down on them with renewed ferocity.
Perhaps they are some manner of mirage.
Under this heat, a mirage or two would hardly be an unexpected sight. Trav nodded and wiped the sweat off his brow, leaving a trail of sand in its place. He thought he'd never been so thirsty. The ancient road on which they walked was black and cracked with age. Here and there, thin wisps of grass pushed up through the rocky surface, as if defying those who had laid this material down over their home. The heat reflecting from the road made Trav lightheaded. His feet hurting, he crouched down to rest. I don't know how much longer I can do this. Is someone playing a joke on us or what? The complaining had already begun. Weiss tried not to let his eyes roll too much. A joke, he said. No joke. This road leads to the city of art. Wait, was that still Weiss talking? Whoops! Perhaps the path itself is simply some manner of grand artistic work. You don't sound very sure of yourself there. Perhaps not, but thinking of it in this way might make it easier for you to bear. Trav glanced at Weiss's grinning face, shook his head, and resumed walking. As time passed, his feet grew more painful and his throat drier than he thought even possible. He tried not to look further than the next step ahead because the bright sunlight made him hesitant to trust his own senses. We're definitely getting closer, said Weiss in an effort to cheer his companion. Yes, this much is certain. Encouraged, Trav lifted his gaze. Suddenly he stopped walking, choosing instead to stand in the middle of the road with his mouth and eyes wide open, and his finger pointing to the distance. Water! He cried. It's water! Water? Asked Weiss. Preposterous! I don't see any water. Over there, just ahead of us, look! The sun is reflecting off it. Without waiting for a response, Trav sprang to life and bounded toward the sight. What in the... There was no water. There was nothing but sand in every direction. Trev closed his eyes and sighed as Weiss floated up behind him and chuckled softly. I believe this is known as a mirage, he said. Many a desert traveler has spoken of such things. Trev shook his head bewildered. Suddenly he pointed off in the distance, his eyes wide once more. Wait, there it is! I just missed it! Look! It's right there! He sprinted off again, leaving Weiss with no choice but to follow. After a few minutes of running, Trev came to a halt. I could have sworn it was right around here. Confused, he put his hands up to his eyes and rubbed them vigorously. As soon as he stopped, he noticed a blue shimmering pool of clear water just over the next rise. With a shout, he bounded off in search of it. We're bounding a lot today, huh? The chase continued for nearly an hour, until an exasperated Weiss finally floated up to Trav and struck him in the face with his cover. Enough, you blithering idiot! Stop this at once! There is no water here! Trev's face clouded. There isn't? There is not! And perhaps next time you will listen to me when I tell you as much. Weiss paused for a moment, then continued speaking in a slightly kinder tone. However, I suppose this mad chase was not altogether wasted. It seems we have arrived in the city of art. Trev looked up. Stretched out before him was a row of impossibly tall sculptures. Their journey was at an end. They're huge! Cried Trev, completely forgetting the heat and pain of the past few hours. I've never seen anything so big! Each sculpture was formed from roughly the same shape, a tall rectangle that stretched up toward the sky, but that's where the similarities ended. Most were covered with panes of glass that reflected light in 1,000 directions, while others seemed to be nothing but frames of steel. Some had tall spires on their tops, while others possessed triangular caps. What kind of city is this? Where are the people? Where are the houses? Perhaps the land is intended exclusively for artistic use. The debate continued as they made their way through the city. Miracles of artistry were everywhere. Great iron crates with wheels sat silent on steel rails. Beautifully carved works with lights of red, amber, and green dangled over every street. As they moved away from the massive sculptures, they found a great array of smaller ones. Some were covered in glass or brick, but many were composed of materials they had never before encountered. The sheer variety of colors and styles was staggering. Unable to find a theme or purpose to the abstract works around them, Trav and Weiss eventually fell silent. On the outskirts of the city, they discovered 3 sculptures in the shape of humans. Trav uttered a sigh of relief as he approached them. Finally, I was getting tired of modern art. The 3 statues were indistinguishable except for a single word chiseled into their right arms. One read Alpha, one read beta, and the final one read gamma. As Trav moved to touch the nearest statue, a bird flew from the top of one of the sculptures. Alighting on the statue's shoulder, it emitted a brief, beautiful song that took the form of words. I'm not singing. Only one form is real, the others are false. The real form will always speak the truth. The false ones will speak only lies. Ooh, I know this riddle! At least I do when there's two. With that, the bird departed. As if on cue, the three statues shuddered to life, acquiring color and form as they began to breathe. Hey, look at that. They're alive. The triplets bowed low before Trav. Please, said Alpha, you have to get me out of this nightmare. I'm real. Stop lying, said Beta. He turned to Trav and threw his hands in the air. Alpha's a fake, you know. I'm the real one. Oh, what a load of crap, said Gamma. Beta's a fake. Everyone knows I'm the only real one around here. Their respective pleas given, the three statues returned to their frozen state as silence once again enveloped the city. When you consider all the statements, only one of them could be the real thing, said Vice. Trev furrowed his eyebrows and considered his answer. Only one form is real, the others are false. The real form will speak always the truth. The false ones will speak only lies. So Alpha said they were in danger. Beta said that one's a liar, and Gamma said that one's a liar. I don't know how the riddle works with three. I know when it's two and one is telling the truth and one lies. So if he's telling the truth and they're lying, I'm a prisoner. He's a liar and he's a liar. So then they would be telling the truth would be he's telling the truth and he's telling the truth. So that would work. If Beta was telling the truth, then Alpha being a liar would be true and he'd be lying about being trapped. But Gamma would be lying that Beta is a liar, right? I feel like is it the last one? I'm a prisoner. He's a liar. So those two are lying, and then he's a liar, which would be the truth. Am I dumb? I feel like you can't rule them out with this setup. I wish it would show what they'd said exactly. I feel like I'm a goober, but I don't feel like you can rule them out sufficiently. At least I can say I don't have a clue. Maybe it'll say their lines again if I do this, or I'll just game over. Let's see. Took a long look at the statues and tried to clear his mind. Okay, it's gonna recap it. Okay. Let's pick it apart. One is real, the others are false. The real form will always speak the truth. The false ones will only speak lies. Okay, what do they say? Okay. Who's telling the truth, chat? So if A is telling the truth, A is real. B is, yeah, I need to make a graph. A, B, G. A says, I'm real. B says, A is fake. I'm real. So A makes only one claim, and the other two make two claims. And then G says B is fake. I'm real. So if A is telling the truth, A is saying I'm is real, and B would be saying, if they're lying, they'd be saying A is true, I'm fake. But then G would be saying B is fake. I don't know. It's hard with 3. Shit. What are you sending me? A TED Talk? Can't watch a TED Talk right now. You silly boy. What is it? What's this TED Talk? It's only 5 minutes? And it's this exact riddle? Really? But with 4? Oh man. I didn't know there was a version with 4. The version with 2 is easy. You just ask them, what would the other one tell me to do? And they'll both say the same one and you pick the opposite one. But with 3 it's complicated, and with 4 it sounds really tough. I'm not gonna watch the TED Talk right now. I'll do it after the stream. I don't want to get copyrighted. I'm a brainlet, dude. I feel like it can't be B, but I feel my brain is too smooth to decide A and G. I feel like it's significant that A only makes one claim. Watch the damn riddle? I don't want to! I don't have a monitor capture set up. I would want to watch it with you. I'll watch it after. Worst case, I pick the wrong one and game over, and then I have a 50-50. It's like the goat. The fucking goat problem. But not really at all. What's that goat one called? I forget. Dude, YouTube comments are gonna bully me on this segment so bad. They bully me on my Danganronpa VODs. Yeah, Monty Hall goat. Yeah. If I game over, then I can choose again. It's not really the same though. I feel like it's the first or the last one. I'm just gonna say the last one. No, I'm gonna say the first one. YOLO. The eyes of the statues shone with an eerie light. The light grew stronger and stronger until Trav and Vice were forced to turn away.
It would seem we failed.
Hey, I didn't game over.
Yeah,
We'd best act more carefully next time.
this is the worst job ever.
And another...
Here, watch. I'll
I
pick the
figured
last one and it'll still be wrong, and I'll be like completely opposite.
Those buildings must be huge. What?
I think B is the one that doesn't make sense, and it'll be B. Get me out of here.
Oh no!
Oh shit! Toby! How's it going? How was Rocket League? Are you still up in Diamond? Alright, Gamma. Damn it, it is the middle one! I thought that was the least possible. Oh
I
no.
figured a book.
Even I have my...
I'm a brainlet. Is Diamond the top? I forget how Rocket League rankings work. No, there's like Grandmaster after that, right? You're pretty high up there. I never got past gold in I played duos mostly. Though Trav's voice betrayed a notable lack of confidence. True, he was relieved to see Vice nodding at him. If Alpha were telling the truth, began Vice in the dry tones of a lecture, Beta and Gamma would be fakes. But in that case, Gamma's claim that Beta is fake would be the truth, even though Gamma is a liar. Therefore, that theory crumbles. Supersonic Legend? That's one hell of a title. Now let's presume that Gamma spoke the truth. That makes Alpha and Beta liars. In this situation, however, Beta is calling Alpha a liar, which would leave us with two statues telling the truth. Finally, let us assume that Beta is telling the truth. If so, Alpha and Gamma's lies would make sense. Therefore, Beta must be real. As Vice finished his explanation, Alpha and Gamma crumbled soundlessly into dust, while Beta sprang to life once more. Congratulations, villager, said Vice in a cheerful voice. The time to awaken has arrived. Thank you for saving me, cried the villager. He dropped to his knees and bowed his head as low as it could go before an uncomfortable Trav pulled him to his feet. Why did you have a dream like this? Asked Vice. Have you been to this city before? The villager slowly looked around at the bizarre objects and sculptures that dotted the landscape, then shook his head. I don't think so. I mean, it's impossible, right? There's no way I could have ever been to a place like this, but at the same time, I feel like I've seen it before. Have a good sleep, Toby. Thanks for the raid and the lurk. Deja vu, muttered Trav. Just like the mayor. The vague sense of unease that struck him during the mayor's dream spread once more through his mind.
That was rough.
I am positive I have seen that place before.
Okay, that's enough. Don't need you getting all weird on me too.
Are you awake?
I thought I was a goner there. Thanks for the help. What a strange dream. It almost felt familiar somehow.
Alright, I want to look at this one again.
This person...
It would appear that
I'm not going to read the whole thing aloud, but I'm going to go a little slow.
perhaps you should spend less time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that one, everything I needed to know I got from inside. But in this one, I'm not sure. Okay, break out of the prison. Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't know how to pick the directions. It's raining. We are slowly drowning. The catacombs are a maze, twisting upon themselves. Alright, so first, we have to go north. I'm gonna draw a little line on my thing. At the end of the corridor, I find a row of 20 canopied beds. Okay. A door just beyond. There's corpses everywhere. Yes, yes. Opening the door and leaving that terrible room. Okay, now we can go east or south. Well, south would be back where we came. So east, I guess. And then west or north. West would go just backwards, so north. Yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to decide. Yeah, say west. So we went west. There were 2 tiles north of where we started. The row of heavy wooden casks lie on their sides in a dark chamber. Doubtless they are filled with wine. My thirst roars to life. I cannot remember the last time my parched throat had relief. I scramble to the first cask and pull frantically at the cork. The theft of a few cups means nothing, I tell myself. The casks will be ruined by the flood regardless. Finally, the cork surrenders to my attack, and thick red liquid bursts forth from the hole. I don't think it's wine, buddy. This is no wine. It's blood still warm from the body. Whether animal or something else, I cannot say. The foul liquid soon mixes with the rising floodwaters, creating a warmth that laps against my thighs. By all the gods, are the rest of these casks filled with blood as well? I lack the courage to confirm my suspicion. Disgust quickly becomes fear as I turn to flee, but my weakened legs betray me, sending me toppling over into the red ocean below. The smell of death is everywhere. It threatens to consume me. I must escape this hell. Crawling on all fours like an animal, holding back screams lest any foulness enter my mouth, I lurch forward through the red waters and out of the room to freedom. Okay, so now we went back east. Let's keep going east, I guess. At the end of the path, I find myself in a great hall with only the sounds of rain for comfort. The waterlogged red carpet squishes beneath my feet as I approach the center of the room. Once there, I behold a beautiful dining table upon which rests china and silver of the finest construction, as well as the remains of a fantastic feast. As my eyes continue to adjust, I see many chairs surrounding the table, each holding a dinner guest. Noticing movement, I approach the chair at the table's head, but as the truth of the matter dawns on me, I recoil in horror. The host of the feast is a corpse, as are all the invited guests. An army of foul, wriggling insects have made homes in their remains, and this is the movement I saw. Gross. This once splendid feast was now nothing more than a requiem for the damned. I take a moment to steady my shaking hands, then slowly back away from the table. Desperate to lose sight of the abomination before me, my gaze lands on the chairs upon which the dead were seated. This is a mistake, for the chairs prove to be even more terrible than the feast itself. Each one is covered in a layer of spikes that run from the seat, up the back, and down the arms. This explains the color of the carpet beneath my feet. I can only pray the unfortunate diners were dead when the meal began. For if not, it's a simple task to envision the agonized screams that must have sprung forth from their mouths. My mind grasps frantically at the possibility these souls had committed some terrible crime for which this was punishment. No, in truth, I suspect they had committed no crime at all. There would be no tomorrow for these unfortunates. This was their last supper. Okay, let's go north, I guess. Against all hope, we make it to the front door. Oh, easy. Break it down, someone cries, and so I give myself to the effort. In tandem with Trav and Grimoire Vice, I slam my body against the thick, sturdy door. On the third try, it gives way, and we find ourselves sprawled on the ground outside the castle. The storm is in retreat. The clouds above are still dark and foreboding, but to the west, I can see a thin shimmer of sunlight trying to break through. How could I thank you? I cry as tears join the rain on my cheeks. I surely would have died in there. Looking down, I suddenly notice my dress is in tatters and sheepishly try to cover my exposed skin. Your dress? Asks Vice. Then you are a woman, madam. I am. I proffer the two a smile. I suppose that comes as something of a surprise, seeing as how I exist only in the form of words. I can see that the one known as Trav is disappointed that the torn dress will be given no further description, but he hides it well. With a nod and a shrug, the three of us set forth to our awakening. But behind us, an awakening of another kind is taking place. Black smoke fills the abandoned castle, providing the countless damned souls inside with their final shroud. After a moment, the castle's windows shatter with a mighty roar. A fresh breeze blows through the hallways and corridors, clearing the smoke away for good. As we watch in awe, uncountable black shadows slowly flicker to life, crossing to and fro in front of the broken windows. the castle's dead have awakened to their new life as shades. Dang.
You have anything to say about that?
Hopefully there will be no labyrinth next time.
I hear that. Okay, there. Now all the villagers can wake up, right?
Yes, if the mayor's assumption was correct. I think I have had enough wordplay to last a lifetime. Thank you very much.
You're telling me. Anyway, let's go see the mayor.
Thank you so much for saving me. I never want to have a dream like that again.
Yeah, it was a pretty fucked up dream, homie.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you so much. Here, I have something for you.
The one-handed sword, Faith.
Wow, this looks valuable. I can really have it?
Of course. It's apparently a weapon of some renown, but we have little use for it.
Well, we appreciate it.
Thank you again for everything.
Nice. Well, we got a new verse. We read a lot of words and got a new sword too. It's very light. It's not as strong as the one I have though. Here, let's see what it takes to upgrade. $30 broken antennas. Interesting. Those are from the robots. Dude, everything I need is in those damn... in that damn factory. Those robots drop like everything I need. Like titanium alloys, yep. Whoops. Titanium alloy. Titanium alloy. Titanium alloy. Twisted ring. I don't know what that one is. Scorpion claws. Wow, not titanium alloy. Complex machine. Crystals and clumps. Clumps and crystals. Give me my Beastbane back. Do I have words on Beastbane? I don't. Paha! And poison, confuse, paralyze. Oh, poison. That sounds fun. I don't have any better words for that yet. I have no words that affect the wall. Gebluga's just on everything for the MP cost. Alright, get me out of here.